On this episode of the Morgan Sports Beat, we have a special look at the tennis program, an interview with members of the softball team, and an update on the spring sports.
What we do here is go back. Set.
Welcome to the Morgan Sports Beat. I'm your host, Blair Young, and here at the Beat, we are the heart of Morgan sports. Coming up first, we have a special collaboration with a student media project called Versa. They took a look at the unique makeup of Morgan's tennis teams. Here's David Lawrence with the story.
Welcome to Versa, Morgan State's look on in-depth storytelling. I'm David Lawrence. Consider this. The odds of a high school tennis player making an NCAA Division I program, 1 in 100. On the contrary, 1 out of every 3 Division I tennis players are foreign-born. For our first story, we look into these trends and answer the question, why? Meet Peggy, Orion, and Lucas. Peggy hails from Sweden, while Orion and Lucas are natives of France. Like their backgrounds, their interests into the game of tennis are different.
Yeah, so they always encouraged me to just do whatever I like to do, and I know I love playing tennis, so that it was a good opportunity for me to play college tennis because it just allowed me to have a good education and keep playing tennis, the sport I love.
I started playing because my dad took me to a sports center when I was 4 or something, and I saw someone play tennis, and suddenly I was yelling to him I need to play tennis. So they put me in a mini tennis kind of thing, and I just kept going.
Okay, I started playing because my mom was looking for a sport that I can play on the weekends, and tennis was the only sport in the weekends, so she just picked tennis for me, and I just keep playing.
From their different paths, they have found themselves at Morgan for a common reason. And they are not the only ones. Morgan's tennis team consists of a male team that is entirely foreign-born and a female team that is majority foreign-born. Why recruit so many foreign players? Morgan State's head tennis coach Matthew Towns says it comes down to one simple factor.
At the top of your conferences, the SEC, the ACC, the Big Ten, you have to be, phenomenal players. You get to a certain point where there's only 50 players in the top 50 that you feel can be a asset to your program. So outside of that top 50 that are in America, because you have, maybe 60, 70 schools, everyone can't be there. What are these teams left to do? Okay, well, all the American players that I know can help my program are all gone. So now I have to go international to find more players because I can't go to my AD and say, I lost because we can't recruit American girls. Well, you better recruit international girls. You better recruit international boys if our goal is to win.
Looking across the Middle Eastern Athletic Conference, there are 152 tennis players, according to rosters placed on university websites. Approximately 65% of those players are foreign. The only schools in the conference with majority Black American players are Howard and University of Maryland Eastern Shore. Going beyond the MEAC, there are over 5,500 tennis athletes in NCAA Division I programs. 1 out of every 3 players are foreign-born. Most come to America to be able to compete while gaining an education. Making the transition can be difficult, but our players say they enjoy it here.
I like Morgan State, the school, the people, I just like to meet new people and have new experiences, so it's great to me for now.
So at the beginning it was kind of difficult because I didn't know anybody, I had some trouble with the language. But the whole tennis team was international, so it was really easy to make friends and contact, have a lot of contacts that help you. But culture-wise, it was kind of tough to adapt at first. But then it's just fine because even the coaches they have a lot of experience with international players, so they can just help you.
I recruit international and domestic players. Half of my women's team is international, and my entire men's team is international. Does it directly correlate to, our recruiting practices? No. That's what we're able to have right now at the time.
I'm David Lawrence for Versa.
Thank you for that report, David. Coming up next, we have an interview with the pitchers and catchers from the softball team. Stay tuned for more from the Morgan Sports Beat. Our next story is about the relationship between Morgan's pitchers and catchers on the softball team. They are on the verge of the most successful season in Morgan's history. They sat down and spoke to us about their experiences this year.
The softball team has had a great year so far because of effort and teamwork. Part of the reason for success has been the pitching staff. We sat down with the two pitchers and catchers to discuss their relationship.
Hi, my name is Anissa. I'm a senior and I'm a catcher.
Hi, my name is Amy. I'm a senior and I'm a pitcher.
Hi, my name's Haley. I'm a sophomore and I'm a catcher.
Hi, my name's Stephanie. I'm a sophomore and I'm a pitcher.
These four have helped the team have a 2.81 earned run average and 9 shutouts this year. The two seniors have set the bar high, but the sophomores are not far behind. In-game success has helped develop the relationship, but they enjoy each other off the field as well.
And then off the field, we definitely like to eat together. We go to the movies sometimes. We do movie nights at the house. So we definitely do a lot of activities together.
Many can see the effort that pitchers give during a game. They throw long innings and rarely miss a start. On the other hand, the catcher's role isn't as easily defined.
I think that the catcher has a job of trying to keep the pitcher calm at times when we get in a situation where we might have runners on and they just need a little bit of confidence to boost their self-esteem or whatever else you want to say.
Amy and Anissa have developed a relationship over time. This is their last year together and have been vital to the team's success. They have passed on lessons to their sophomore counterparts, and the results have been shown on the field. Stephanie has stepped up along with Amy and have provided Morgan with a 1-2 punch.
Sometimes I get in my head and I get flustered a little bit and frustrated, and they're just there to calm me down.
The Lady Bears have had one of the best seasons in Morgan's history. They had a 12-game winning streak and currently sit in first place in their division. This group knows that it's been a total team effort, including clutch hitting and great defense. The team has had a taste of success last season and established an identity that has continued to this year. They have dominated their conference and played extremely well versus non-conference opponents.
I don't think we're at our peak.
Okay.
And so that's super exciting because once we're all consistent with one another, I think that right now we're getting to be unstoppable, and we will be unstoppable as a goal.
The ultimate goal for this team is the MEAC championship. After overcoming last year's disappointing third-place finish, this team is ready and focused. For the seniors, ending their career on a high note would be the perfect way to leave their mark here at Morgan.
Indescribable.
That would mean everything.
Yeah.
It's pretty much, I feel like everything we've both worked for, since we've started. And to end it here with this specific team that we have going this season and get a ring, I think that would be perfect. Yeah.
This team knows no matter how the year ends, they will always have the camaraderie that comes from playing with a close-knit team. A ring would be icing on the cake, but the relationships that they have formed will last forever.
Our final story is a recap of the spring sports teams as they prepare for their respective MEAC tournaments.
The softball team is finishing up one of the best seasons in Morgan's history. They set the school record for wins with 27. They have been led by senior Amy Begg, who had 8 shutouts this year. And on offense, Dominique Young and Gabby Gorsave have anchored the team's success. They clinched the Northern Division with a win over rival Coppin State and head into the tournament as the #1 seed. They are one of the favorites, along with Bethune-Cookman, who won the Southern Division. The MEAC tournament starts on May 9th in Ormond Beach, Florida. The women's track team has performed well this season. The Lady Bears have competed at many meets across the country. They traveled to North Carolina for the MEAC championships and finished 7th overall. Anastasia Barham took home silver in the 400-meter dash, and Jasmine Hall captured bronze in the discus throw. The men's team had a pretty good season this year. They won the Towson Invitational and had multiple MEAC Field Athletes of the Week. They finished 5th in this year's championships in Greensboro. Kurt Goodlett took home 2 silver medals in discus and javelin. Lloyd Hilton won the long jump with a leap of 7.65 meters. The men's tennis team has had an incredible season. They got off to a slow start at 1-4, but turned it around with a 14-match winning streak. They finished with a 15-4 record and went undefeated in conference play. Coach Matthew Towns was named MEAC Coach of the Year for leading the Bears to the #1 seed in the Northern Division. They finished up the tournament as runner-up to South Carolina State, and with most of the team returning next year, the future is bright. The women's tennis team finished their season on a high note. They defeated the Hampton Lady Pirates to claim the 2018 MEAC Women's Tennis Championship. This was the first tennis championship since 1994 and is the only MEAC title won by a Morgan team this season. Senior Danielle Thompson had an outstanding year for the Lady Bears. After leading the team in wins, Danielle was awarded the MEAC Player of the Year as well as the most outstanding performer of the tournament.
Thank you for joining me for another episode of the Morgan Sports Beat. I am Blair Young, your expert on Morgan sports. Tune in next time because here at The Beat, we are the heart of Morgan athletics.